Welcome to this edition of Connect with VP Hecht, your guide to all things student life at Florida State University. I'm here with two amazing guests. I have Leigh Ann Bauer, Global Exchanges Program Director, and Ava DeGaetano, former Global Exchange student. So welcome, thank you for being here. So tell me, what is Global Exchanges and how is it different than international programs?
Well, Global Exchanges provide FSU students a really immersive experience where they're able to study at a university in another country for a semester, for a summer, or even academic year, and really giving them that experience of living in another country, taking classes there, getting to know local students, and travel as well as part of it.
That is amazing. What else should they consider in terms of credits or cost? How is Global Exchanges different in that way?
Well, cost, the great thing is the students pay FSU tuition and fees. So the same amount that they're paying when they're here on campus, it goes with them when they're abroad.
Regardless of what country they go to.
Exactly, yes. So in any financial aid that they have, Bright Futures or prepaid, all of that applies as well. So it keeps the cost really affordable. A lot of students, even particularly given the exchange rates these days and the cost of living here in the U.S., they're coming back and saying, hey, I spent a lot less for my semester abroad in this other country, than they're used to even spending here and that they're used to spending. So it keeps it affordable, definitely.
And does their academic major influence where they can and should study?
It can, yes. So a lot of our exchange programs on our website, when you look at the full list, you can see there's a note of the college or the department that's specific for that university. Some are what we call multi-unit, which means a number of different colleges can apply. Others are more specific to, like College of Business has a number of exchange agreements that they've identified just for College of Business students. But depending on the major, we can usually find a good fit, particularly if a student has a lot of flexibility in their classes and they've done some planning ahead of time to really make it fit within their academic goals.
Now, Ava, you were there, the only Florida State student in Thailand, which isn't usual, but what was it like? Did you have any culture shock? What's your favorite memory looking back?
Oh, I mean, when it comes to culture shock, I would talk about with my international friends every day that every single day we were culture shocked. There was never a dull moment. I just remember first getting there, coming from the airport, kind of getting out of the throes of Bangkok when I was driving with my taxi driver, who was actually one of the nicest people I've ever met. It was a fantastic experience. He went by James Bond, was his name, by the way.
Great name.
Yes, exactly. But I remember getting to where I was living and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I was like, this is very different from what I'm used to living in and all of that stuff. So every day just discovering a new area of Thailand would always be a culture shock. I mean, just with the way people act, how welcoming people are, it really puts Southern hospitality out the window. It is next level how welcoming the culture is. So there's a lot of things getting used to there, but also, for example, bartering. When you have to barter for, get a deal on something I really had to get used to while I was there. But when it comes to memories, it's impossible to even narrow it down, but one of my favorite ones was just we had been traveling. I did a lot of outside travel, which I could also talk about, but we had been to a bunch of big cities, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, a bunch of places, and so we wanted a more quiet experience. So we went to northern Thailand in Chiang Mai, the massage capital of the world. We would just visit temples, and eventually a group of monks was walking with us, and they ended up just taking us on a tour through all the temples of Chiang Mai, not because of any other reason, they just wanted to show us around. And so we ended up doing just some things with monks, and they would tell us the best things to get at 7-Eleven. And that was just one of the most grounding experiences I've ever had.
Talk about a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And what is the top thing to get at 7-Eleven based on the monks?
Oh my gosh. I mean, first of all, they would have they have a bunch of Thai teas and stuff, but I would always follow behind a monk to see what kind of drink they're getting because I know it's the best and it's probably in Thai and I can't read it. So but a very popular thing is ham and cheese toasties, which is really funny. And now I call them toasties because that's what the Europeans call them.
It's a very good name, though.
Yes, it is.
We have a toastie that we use. He's a little toast with eyes and hands. So what was your biggest takeaway now looking back on your experience in Thailand?
I mean, my biggest takeaway is that I feel like I can do anything. I did a lot of very adventurous things when I was over there. I also did some solo traveling. I've actually been now to 10 countries this year alone, 8 of which were on my exchange. And so I feel like I can navigate any type of transportation, any type of cultural barrier. I feel like I can establish a common ground with absolutely anyone that I talk to. I feel a lot more confident in going around the world and just pursuing whatever endeavors I have, like academically or career-wise. I just feel a lot more confident overall, yes.
And great for your future career as well. Who wouldn't want to hire someone with those skills? So if a student is interested, how do they get started? What's the process?
The best way to get started, just come to an information session. We have them here in the Globe building twice a week, also on Zoom. Just come in and talk to us, start to make a plan. The sooner the better. We definitely want students to start planning this out, about a year in advance, but even if they come in about a few months before the deadline, we can get them going. So the sooner the better, but just start exploring and don't be intimidated by the thought of what you may not be able to do if you don't do this.
So what advice would you both have for a student that is applying?
Well, do it, and also definitely find a location that is going to fit you like full-roundedly. Like you want an all-encompassing experience. I feel like sometimes people really get caught up in the where they want to go. To be honest, like regardless of where you go, you're going to get a lot out of it. But I would just focus more on somewhere that really speaks to you. It doesn't have to speak to you in one category. Let it find everything and apply. Definitely just do it all. Make sure you're all organized throughout the process. Don't lose track of documents or anything, but yeah.
Okay, good advice. Leigh Ann, what advice would you have?
I think just hearing stories like Ava's, as far as the benefits they can get out of this kind of experience, I think really is something that I love to hear, those kind of stories. But thinking too about the connections that students make and how that can impact the rest of their life. So it's a relatively short period of time. You were there for 4 months, but the impact on Ava's life and on so many students that we've worked with over the years, it really carries with them, in so many different unexpected ways. So having that in mind and thinking of the immediate experience they're going to have, but also the bigger outcome that they can have for the rest of their life.
Absolutely. And not just transformative, but when in your life, until you retire maybe, can you go and spend 4 months, meet people in somewhat of a structured process and really immerse yourself?
Exactly, yes.
Not too many periods of time. And Florida State's really lucky to have both of you here to share your experience. And I know you have a little game for me.
Yes.
So we'll see how I do with our game.
Okay, yes.
So I'm going to spin this,
Here. Yeah.
and then you're going to quiz me. And we'll see how much I do not know and how desperately I should have globally exchanged as an undergrad.
No judgment.
Yes.
Oh, good. Weird questions. Okay. All right.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Botswana.
Botswana.
Yes,
Okay.
This is Botswana. See,
There, yes.
I'm looking at you for validation every time, just in case, because I promise I know, but sometimes.
We have an exchange in Botswana, and I know one fun fact about Botswana, but I'm sure it's not the one you're going to ask me.
Let's see if it is. Who knows? All right. So your question is, what is Botswana's largest export?
Oh. Botswana's largest export.
It's something that everyone loves. Well,
Oh. Coffee. No.
no.
Oh.
But it's kind of in a.
Chocolate?
No.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay, it's actually diamonds.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
how'd I get that wrong?
Exactly.
Okay.
Something we all love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now we want to know
best
your
friend?
fun fact.
I know. What is your fun fact?
That isn't the president of Botswana a Florida State University graduate?
Exactly right. Yes. What? And that's a big part of the connection that we have with the University of Botswana and why we have the exchange, actually. So yes, directly related to that.
Yes. He came to campus, and it was a very big deal. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's actually amazing.
Yeah. I was like, I know one thing, and I'm sure it's not the question because it's a very Florida State. All right, Go again.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, diamonds. I'm ashamed of myself. I should have had that one.
All right, Spania.
Spania.
Yes. All right. I feel like you might be able. Okay.
We'll see. You have a lot of faith in me, Ava.
I do. I have so much faith in you. I really do. All right. So your question is, what is a siesta?
Oh, I love a siesta. A siesta is an afternoon nap.
Yes, exactly. A short rest or nap, usually in the afternoon. Exactly.
And that is something we really should adopt.
Yeah, I really
Here, I
agree.
really feel like we'd all be a lot happier if Florida
Yes.
State would adopt that, or the United
Exactly.
States would.
Yes.
And I feel like you could also get this one for Spain. What is the name of Spanish small plates of food that are meant to be shared? Examples include empanadas and croquettes.
Tapas.
Yes, exactly. See?
All right, my last one. Let's see. I'm somewhat redeeming myself. I don't know.
are. This is the Netherlands. All right. This one also, I feel like, maybe. Let's see. What is the most popular mode of transportation in the Netherlands?
Bicycle.
Yes, exactly, cycling. I would know. I went to the Netherlands when I was younger, and everyone was getting up those hills way easier than I was. I was out of breath. I could not.
Yeah, I think I might be better walking with those hills than on a bike.
Oh, crawling, like anything except for. Yes, and then another question about the Netherlands is, the Netherlands is the world's leading producer of what type of flower?
Tulips.
Yes. Yes. Very good job.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
And that was my last spin. See, now I'm on a roll. Okay, I redeemed myself.
Yes, you did.
Ended on a high note.
So we do have a section now called Ask Amy, where our viewers, listeners write in. And so this is a good question. Someone would like to know, I've never left the country and I don't know how to speak any other language. Is it going to be hard to take classes in another country in global exchange? Ava, how was your Thailand experience?
I mean, you definitely could not ask me to speak like a lick of Thai. I knew basic language skills, how to get around, greetings, how to ask for certain things like food, preferences, not to make things spicy was a big one. But with that being said, your classes are in English unless otherwise specified. Like if you wanted to have a very catered program where you are proficient or comfortable learning in the host language, you could do that, but otherwise you do not have to worry about those language differences. Everyone in your classes will have a proficiency level of English. It is a requirement to take these classes. So you will be surrounded by other English speakers.
Very helpful if you don't speak another language. Very good.
Yes, and as for going out of the country for the first time, I would say this is the best way to do it.
Okay.
You're going to be surrounded by other people that also, it might be their first times going out of the country under a structured program with our advisors, and also the host university's advisors will be there on the other side helping you out through it. I think that's the best way to have a structured first experience with other people that are going through the same first experience as you.
Very good. Leigh Ann, what do you think?
Very well said. And I agree. All of the partners that we partner with have to have a certain number of classes taught in English. And like Ava said, there's a lot of availability of, mixing it up with the other students and kind of being able to speak English outside of class, but having some knowledge and some familiarity to get around the city is helpful. So most partners have some kind of beginning language, or a lot of students do Duolingo or some other kind of language learning app before they go, kind of crash course.
At least a year, maybe 6 months, so you can at least brush up on some basics.
Exactly, or take a class here with Modern Languages Department. So there's lots of ways to get prepared before you go, but certainly don't have to feel fluent or intimidated by that at all.
And I know you prep, the Center for Global Engagement preps a lot of our students doing global exchange. They know what to expect and they can prepare.
Yes, we have pre-departure meetings for students. We have those at least 2 pre-departure meetings before they go. The other really unique thing about exchanges we haven't touched on yet is the inbound students coming from these partners come here to FSU, which also, again, builds on those relationships.
Part of the exchange.
Exactly, yes. And so we have events to connect students with the inbound students that might be here from that university. So unfortunately, we didn't have anyone from Mahidol before you went, Ava, but usually we'll have, if we have those students here, we'll pair them up. We have a Global Exchanges Fair every November where students can come and talk to the inbound students. And they'll ask them questions. What's it like at Griffith University in Australia? How does it compare to FSU? Because those students are here.
Now they know both.
And they know both, exactly. So again, it's like giving students the ability to connect with someone to make it not seem so intimidating, but also give them some kind of common ground to connect and help make their experience easier once they get abroad. Yeah.
Well, Ava, my last question for you is, where are you going next?
Oh my, don't even ask me that. No one, like I said, I've been to 10 countries this year, and actually I also wanted to mention that with that whole benefit of making friends while you're there, I made some really close friends from Germany and Scotland, to name a few of the countries that they're from. But when I got back from my exchange, I was able to go back out to Europe and stay with my friends. Obviously, it was like having tour guides through the whole country. I got to stay with them free of charge, all of that kind of stuff. But next on the list, I was literally just saying that I've been stalking one of our programs in Taipei, Taiwan, and I've been stalking it, and I want to go there so bad. I mean, I don't know if I could fit in another exchange in the schedule, but China, Italy are probably my actual top destinations, because we're Italians, and I haven't been to my home country
Oh,
yet.
you do need to go to your, yeah, it's a great place.
I know. One day.
One day, you'll check it off. I have confidence you're going to check off all your travel dreams. Thank you both for being here. Thank you for joining us. And that's it for this episode of Connect with Hecht, your guide to all things student life at Florida State.